Hello. Welcome in, everyone. I'm Tammy Mashtaberti, a best-selling author of the book The Universe is Talking to You. Tap into signs and synchronicity to reveal magical moments every day. And this is my weekly spirit boost. I go live every Thursday at noon Eastern on Instagram. Hello, Instagram. Facebook. Hello, Facebook. And then I upload it to YouTube the next day. And so this week I am here to focus on a topic. Every week I try to focus on something in these. Hi on Instagram. Every week I try to focus on. Try to focus these on something that has come up for me that week, for friends, for family members, for one-on-one clients, for students in my classes, etc. And sometimes I literally decide, the morning of doing these. Sometimes I decide I know earlier. But this week, something that has been coming up a lot in, whether it's a one-on-one clients, whether it's friends and family, it really runs the gamut. And it just keeps repeating, is this topic of sort of feeling like you've gotten bad news, you're in a bad situation, you're stuck in one or more area, there's a bunch of stuff happening to you all at once. Hi, I'm so glad you love the weekly lives. Thank you. I really enjoy doing them. So this week I want to focus on that topic. I want to focus on the topic of and I'm sorry, Facebook, I don't see they're not letting me look at comments for some reason. This is Facebook, by the way. Facebook, you stink. I'll try to open it up in another browser. So anyway, what has come up over and over again, a theme that has come up over and over again, is just sort of like you feel like you're stuck in one or more areas. Something has happened and you feel yourself going into a downward spiral. Here we go. Now I can see comments. Oh, I just identified your life, Susan. Okay, so I can see comments. I had to open it in a separate thing. So I'm dedicating this weekly spirit boost to finding peace with what is, which is so difficult to do when you're in the middle of something, whether it's that you're in the middle of something, again, one thing has gone wrong, or, I talked to someone this week where every area is just blowing up at the same time. And it's difficult. It's so difficult to do. But here's the thing. Yes, happening in real life for you. I think Pam something. I can't see. It's always hard with Instagram. Everybody has funny names. Like I'm Elevated Tammy, so I'm Tammy. So anyway, finding peace with what is, it's so difficult to do. However, it's so important to eventually get there. So if something goes wrong, of course, you're going to take time to be upset about it, to maybe complain a little bit about it, maybe wallow in it a little bit. But if you stay there, if you get stuck there, and if you allow yourself to go into that downward spiral, nothing is going to change. You are going to make no progress. You are not going to be able to see the signs and synchronicities the universe is sending. You're not going to be able to see solutions. You're not going to feel good. You're going to feel miserable. And so the key is shifting out of that, right? Shifting out of that and accepting and finding peace with what is. It's so important because it's the first step to actually finding change. It's the first step to actually moving forward. You have to accept the reality of what is happening to you. That doesn't mean you don't do something about it. That doesn't mean you're not going to take action on it. That doesn't mean that you just, this is the way it is and there's nothing I can do about it. This means stop fighting against the reality of what is happening. Stop fighting against reality in general, because it's getting you nowhere. It is what it is. What's happening around you is what's happening around you. You can't sometimes control what's happening around you or what's happening to you or what has happened in your life, right? Most of the time we can't control things. But what we can control is how we react to it. And that is the difference between going into that downward spiral and staying stuck in the wallow and staying stuck in general, or now finally shifting toward, it's going to be okay and I can move forward. Fighting against the reality is going to keep you stuck. It's going to keep you stuck every time. So how can you find peace with what is when you're not happy with what is, right? The biggest shift that has come for me, and I say this, I've said this to friends this week, I've said it to family members this week, I've said it to clients this week. The biggest shift comes when you can say and know for certain in your life that everything that's happening to me right now, whether it's good, whether it's bad, no matter what it is, I'm where I'm supposed to be, and it's happening for a reason. I may not know the reason. I may not be happy with what is actually happening to me right now. I may hate it. It may suck. I may be in the middle of a crap storm, okay? But it's happening to me for a reason. And how can you state that and actually believe it, right? Because we can state a lot of stuff, but can you actually, unless you believe what you're saying, it's not going to shift you. So what I tell people, and an exercise that I have in my book is called Follow the Footsteps. So those of you who have read the book, you know this. I focus on finding the proof. I want you to find proof in your life that no matter what is going on, no matter what is happening to you right now, it's going to be okay because you have seen that proof in your past. So I say, look back, past relationships, past careers, past jobs, even death of a loved one, whatever it might be. Look at things that have happened to you in the past when a crap storm has gone through, and where did it bring you? Odds are it worked out. You're still here. You're still alive. You're probably in a better place than when you started. And I'll give you an example. Going all the way back to when I was in college, and I was working for a chiropractor. And I tell this story in my book. But I was working for a chiropractor, and I was happy there. I worked there for all through college, through I think it was my junior year. So for 3 years I worked there. And I worked in the evening shift. Somebody else worked in the day shift. And they hired someone new to work and to take over all of the day shifts. So I would go in at like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and then I would take over the reception and everything that was going on there through 7 o'clock at night. And so they changed this person, and this person and I just didn't get along. She didn't like me. I think maybe she didn't like the fact that I had been working there and had a good relationship with the owners. I don't know. But outside of the fact that she didn't really like me, she would mess up all the time. And then I would have to clean up the mess that she did, whatever she didn't finish from the day, I would have to clean it up because I needed to have everything settled before I clocked out. And so there was just, it was a lot of struggle, and I became extremely unhappy there. Now, I'd been completely happy there for 3 years. I was moving into my senior year of college. And this was just a part-time job. I wasn't going to work there forever. I was going to school for writing. I knew I wanted to do something with writing. I had no idea what I wanted to do. And this came up, and I'm like, I can't believe this is happening to me. Like, it got to the point where I was like, I don't want to go there anymore. I don't want to do this job anymore. I can't work there with this person. I don't know what to do. Had that had not happened, it would not have pushed me to start looking elsewhere. And here is the thing. I knew I wanted to do something with writing. I knew I was good at it. I knew that it came easily to me. I knew that I enjoyed it. But I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. Do I want to work in book publishing? Did I want to work in magazines? Did I want to work for a newspaper? Like, I don't know. But this forced me to say, you know what, Tammy, you're going into your senior year of college. You should probably look for a job that gives you some writing experience so that you could get a job when you graduate. And so this pushed me to start looking and saying, you know what, I have to get out of this job. I'm so miserable. So I'm just going to see if I can find something that has to do with what I'm going to school for. So I looked, and I wound up finding, this was back in the day when, you know, people read newspapers and that's where you looked for jobs. And so I found something in the newspaper that a magazine publishing company was looking for a college student welcome, you know, part-time editorial assistant, I think was the name of it. And it happened to be like 10 minutes from my house, less than 10 minutes from my house. And I thought, oh, this is so amazing. You know, I'm going to apply here. Well, I wound up applying. I wound up getting the job. I wound up loving the magazine industry, knowing that I wanted to work there. And then after I graduated, they hired me full time. So I tell you this story because I had a crap storm, right? I had a like, oh my God, I was so happy here. Everything was great. I was making money. It was allowing me to, I'm still not seeing comments on Facebook. It's allowing me to, I'll have to go back, you guys. I'm sorry. It's allowing me to move forward. Like it was great. It was a great job at the time, but the universe knew, man, you are meant to start in magazines because that's where I was meant to go. And then I wound up creating my own magazine, 11 years later or something like that. I forget. But again, I needed that push. I needed to be miserable enough to go. And oftentimes when we are not making a decision for ourselves, when we are not deciding to do something, when we are not deciding to change something, when we are not deciding to move forward, especially in our careers or in relationships, the universe will step in because this is not what you're supposed to be doing. This is not who you're supposed to be with, or this is not who you're supposed to be with right now. And the universe will step in and create a crap storm so that you can move forward. So I say all of this because if you can find peace with what is by knowing, okay, this stinks, but no matter what, this is leading me somewhere. I'm just going to be okay with where I am. I'm just going to accept this. I don't have to like it. I don't have to feel great about it, but I can accept it. And now I can look to, okay, where is this leading me? What can I do to help myself in this situation, right? I was like, I need to get out of this job. Let me start looking for something. Oh, it probably would make sense for me to start looking for something in writing because that's what I'm going to school for. And I'm not getting that background working as a receptionist in a chiropractic office. So accepting what is. So what are some quick tools I can give you to take with you? And I just can't stand that I can't see the Facebook comments. It makes me sad. Oh, wait, no, they're not coming up. I'll see them afterwards. So what can you do when you are in a state like that and you feel yourself being sucked down into depression, into stress, into misery, really, and feeling like I can't stop this. Everything is blowing up around me. And again, I'm giving you an example of one thing that was blowing up around me, but I also had other things blowing up at the time. I had a relationship that was blowing up at that time. There was a bunch of other stuff going on. And odds are you have more than one area of your life blowing up right now. Hopefully you don't. Hopefully maybe it's just one area. Or maybe this will be for the future for you. Two of the things that I do sometimes when I find myself going down is I will do emotional freedom technique or tapping. So you might have heard of that. That's where you tap on the different meridian points while you make statements. I won't go through that whole thing now. You can look it up online and Google how to do it. It's amazing, and it moves energy through your body. It can shift your mindset. So when you find yourself feeling like, oh my gosh, everything is blowing up around me, tapping through that, stating, just literally just blowing up and saying everything that's going on and how everything is miserable and your life sucks, and you just venting. And then when you get it all out, you switch to the more positive statements that maybe everything is actually happening for a reason. Maybe this is leading me somewhere. Maybe I can find peace where I am now. Pam is saying, yes, you're trying to sell your house. Exactly. Wherever you are in that process right now, just know I'm moving through this. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I promise you, everybody, you are where you're supposed to be. But if you can find peace with what is right now, it's so much easier to start moving forward and to start finding the solutions and to just feel better. So the EFT and tapping can easily shift your mood. In 5 minutes, it can shift your mood. And now all of a sudden, things are not as miserable. Maybe I'm not thrilled, right? But maybe I feel a little bit better. The other thing I say is when you're going through something that is dragging you down, that is bringing you down, that is stressing you out, that is putting you into a a depressive mode where you feel like hopeless, be gentle with yourself and make sure that no matter what is going on that day, you are doing something for yourself that brings you even the smallest, tiniest, itty bittiest amount of joy. Because often, and obviously gratitude, I talk about gratitude and being grateful, but sometimes when you're in that state, man, it's so hard to reach for gratitude, right? So you just want to shift yourself. You just want to shift yourself and say, I'm going to find peace with what is. I'm going to just accept this and know that help is coming. I'm saying my I say my morning prayer every morning that's in the book, and I'm asking for help that day. And so I just am going to accept where I am, but I'm going to do something that brings me joy. I don't care if it's you looking forward to that day, you're looking forward to coming home, and maybe you enjoy cooking and cooking a meal. Maybe you're looking forward to going to Starbucks or going to get your favorite coffee that day, and that just brings you a momentary bit of joy. Maybe you are looking forward to coming home and lighting some candles and taking a bath. Maybe you're looking forward to watching your favorite new show that you're binging on Hulu or Netflix or actual television, if people are still watching that, or your DVR. It doesn't matter what it is. Find the smallest little thing to shift you, to bring you joy that day. Sometimes my days are crazy and I can't figure things out at work. Nothing seems to be going right. I can't figure things out. I can't make a decision on something. And I just look forward to, watching whatever I might be watching at that time, with my husband that night. Sometimes we love the Food Network and watching all the baking competition shows. So I just know that I can relax and let go and just enjoy that hour of that show. That is something that brings me joy. So finding peace with what is stop fighting against the reality of what is happening to you, because it is happening to you. And the sooner you accept where you are right now, the easier it's going to be to find a solution, number one. Number two, looking back in your own past and saying, where has stuff blown up before but has led me to something better? And just at least finding that faith of, okay, this sucks and I'm not happy, but it's leading me somewhere. It's taking me somewhere. Now I'm seeing things on Facebook. So exciting. Okay. So, yes, Susan, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Thank you, Dr. Wayne Dyer. Yes. So, again, looking for that proof in your own past. And then doing what you can to nurture yourself through it. Doing that EFT and tapping to shift yourself and feel better. Because I promise you, a couple of sessions of that, sometimes only one session of that, and your whole outlook changes. And then doing something every day that brings you even the littlest nugget of joy and treating yourself well. And when you're doing that, it stops that downward spiral. If you can reach for gratitude, great. But sometimes it's like, man, I'm not there. I just can't wait to get home and veg on the couch for a little bit and turn my mind off from everything that's going on. Or, man, I can't wait to go to, like I said, go to Starbucks. I used to love going to Starbucks when I used to work at a job that I wasn't crazy about. I used to just love my daily jaunt to Starbucks with a friend, and it was just like, man, that made my morning. It made my morning better. Got myself a caramel macchiato with some cinnamon I would sprinkle on top, and it, I don't drink coffee anymore because now I'm allergic to it, but that's a whole other story. But it used to just bring me that momentary lift, right? What can you do to bring yourself some joy during the day? I'm trying to see. So for those of you who are stuck right now and are feeling like there is no solution, all I can tell you is this: there will eventually be a solution. There's always eventually a solution. What can you do to make right now easier for you? What can you do right now to bring yourself some joy and shift yourself? Because if you can bring yourself some joy and shift yourself now, that solution is going to come faster. You are going to be more aligned with a higher vibration that's going to allow that solution to come in. you can't do anything about circumstances around you sometimes, but what you can do is you can focus on how you're reacting and how you're feeling right now. And if you can shift yourself into a higher vibration, if you can move yourself up just a little bit, even to like boredom rather than depression, you're in a better you're in a better place. And so while you're waiting for things to happen, while you're waiting for solutions to come, while you're waiting for opportunities to come, while you're waiting for the relationship, while you're waiting for the job, while you're waiting to figure out the next move for your health, whatever it might be, how can you find peace with where you are, knowing that something is coming, even if it seems like it's taking forever? And how can you find just that little bit of joy right now in order to shift yourself and feel a little bit better and get yourself through those days without nose diving down into that downward spiral? How can you stop that spiral before it's completely flying down? I'm just reading. Yes, big. Yeah, I'm reading April. Big or small, if it brings my vibe up. Yes, it doesn't have to be big. Sometimes when I tell people do something that brings you joy, they're like, well, I can't take a vacation, Tammy. I can't do. No, I'm not talking about getting on a plane or going to Hawaii or going on a spiritual retreat, because Lord knows that would bring me joy. I'm talking about little things that will shift your energy. So yes, April, 100%. It's just these little things that can shift your energy. And just finding peace with where you are. So I've given you a whole bunch of tips in this in order to do that. But I promise you that is the first step to actually creating change, to actually getting unstuck. Because if you continue to fight with where you are, if you continue to be miserable about it, if you continue to go down that downward spiral, you're going to stay stuck. You are going to stay stuck. So I want you to use the EFT to start shifting your mind. I want you to look back in your past and remind yourself that, man, I've been in crappy situations before and they always bring me to something better. They always eventually work out. And usually when I look back in my life, and I know a lot of people who do the exercises I teach do this, they say, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that all of these things in my past brought me to something better. So when you can find that in your own life, it's easier to find peace with what is, and then trying to do something every day that gives you that little bit of joy. Oh, you're very welcome, Pam. I'm trying to see. Any tips for dealing with nightmares is asking on Instagram. I would do some EFT tapping before you go to sleep, because I think sometimes you could be anticipating and bringing that fear into the sleep state. I would also get some amethyst around you, because that helps with peaceful sleep. I would also clear the energy in your bedroom where you're sleeping. So I would get either sage, or there's essential oil sprays you can get. You can diffuse essential oils. There's a lot of different things that you can do to clear the energy in your bedroom. And I would also clear your own energy before you go to sleep. So again, you can do that with sage, Palo Santo. It could be incense. It could be a sage bundle. It can be essential oils. And also you can clear your own energy with a selenite wand. So I would do that as well. And see if that helps shift you a little bit. I just happened to see that come past on Instagram. So, Susan, thank you. She said, I always feel renewed and so much better after listening to these videos. I love doing them. I really do. I like doing the lives. I do my weekly videos that go out on YouTube as well, where I'm just teaching and rambling about different things, just to myself, and I just record it and put it out there. But I like doing these, and I'm enjoying sort of coming up with, sometimes last minute, what's going on with me this week and how can it help other people. And so that's really what I'm doing with these. What essential oils are best for clearing energy, Ricky? So you can get blends sometimes that are for clearing, but if you can get anything with sage in it, frankincense is another one that's really, really good for clearing energy. So whether it's the essential oil or the you can get the incense stick of frankincense. Both of them are very, very good. And also you can get, so Palo Santo is like a wood stick that comes from a certain tree. I don't know the whole history of it, but it is something that has been used for centuries to clear energy. And the thing about Palo Santo is it only clears the negative. So sometimes you'll hear like, I've heard people say sage clears positive and negative, and you have to put energy back in. So people might use sage and cedar because cedar puts good energy back in. Palo Santo only clears the negative. So you can get a distilled Palo Santo oil, Palosanto. You can actually get that in essential oil form, and you can diffuse that as well. You could even make your own blend and spray it. But there also are a bunch of cleansing sprays on the market. I always recommend the crystalgarden.com. Margaret Ann Lembo is on there. She's an amazing spiritual teacher and an owner of a crystal store in Florida. But she creates a huge line. Many of them are award-winning of sprays, and she has smudge sprays. So I highly recommend that as well. You can order that online. Either through the Crystal Garden. I think they might be on Amazon as well. You can always call them also. They're amazing there. So that's another one. Okay, you have the Palo Santo stick. Yes, exactly. But they do sell an essential oil. So any of those will work for clearing energy. But the reason I brought that up is somebody asked about the nightmares. So that's what I would do. And I would also say a prayer before I go to bed, asking, my angels and guides to clear anything and help me have a peaceful sleep. Yes, Palo Santo essential oil. Oh, you have the Crystal Garden in your favorites. Yay! I love them. I always talk about them. Anytime somebody asks me, where do you get crystals? I'm like, I would go there first, because even if they don't have it online, you can call them, and they have a huge store, and they'll do a whole virtual walkthrough on FaceTime with you. So they're amazing, and they'll send you pictures and everything. So anyway, that is my weekly spirit boost for this week. Thank you guys so very much for being here and for showing up and for hanging out. I hope that this topic is helpful to you in some way. Again, it's come up with family members and friends, and I just keep finding myself talking about it, and I'm like, nope, this is what I need to talk about this week. So I wish you all a beautiful week into the weekend, because now we are on Thursday already. So I hope you have an amazing and beautiful weekend. I hope that you will remember some of these tools, and remember, even if you're not in a crap storm right now, we all have them. Something could go wrong. So I just want you to sort of remember that as you go into this weekend, as you go into next week, the faster you can find peace with what is going on in your life, the faster you will start moving forward and finding solutions. It's literally the way that it works energetically in the universe, in your life. And if you try some of the tools that I gave here, I promise you will see a difference. So I hope this was all helpful for you. You're very welcome, April. It's so wonderful to be here with you guys. And I will be back, of course, again next Thursday with some more. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Francis. Thank you, everybody, for being here with me. Have a beautiful and wonderful and elevated weekend, and I will see you all next week.